Balenciagas on my feet, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. Since 96, I'm in this game, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. Balenciagas on my feet, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in. Oh boy, fresh. Since 96, I'm in. Welcome back to another episode of No Cap Reacts. Hey, Mr. Go. All right. Pretty sure everybody can hear me now, right? Check, check, mic, check, mic, check. Make them to another episode of No Cap Reacts. I'm your man Bailey, a.k.a. Mr. Go Get 'em. And we are back with another episode of Sunday Night Live. And tonight's version of Sunday Night Live is going to be a little different. But before we get off into it, let's do a little something, something. All right, so tonight's show, we gonna do a reaction. Yep, we gonna get off into a reaction tonight. I'm debating whether I should open up the phone lines. But before we do anything, let's go ahead and make sure I share this thing all over the world. Tonight we're going to be talking about the world's most hated man. I don't even know if I should be using his name, so we'll call him A.T. That's right. We're going to be talking about Andrew. And, yeah. The world absolutely hates this man right now. He's been, well, okay, we can't truly say the world. Let me elaborate. For those of you that have zero idea about who Andrew Tate is, Andrew Tate is someone that came out, I guess you would say he might be part of the manosphere. That's pretty much what they want to call it, is the manosphere. It's not really any such thing. But what happens is, as he makes his appearance in the world as we know it, what actually happened is a lot of people took, well, they ain't like it too much. So, some of the things he said were misconstrued based off of clips. And, well, when a certain group of people decide that they want to cancel you, it is actually rather easy to be canceled. I've been posting here lately about, well, Kanye. Kanye is currently being canceled. Cancel culture is hitting him quite hard as we speak in the world that we know of today, and just for the fact of, words. Words do have meaning. Words have power, and if you do too much or say too much, they gonna come for you, and that's pretty much exactly what they've done. Is they came for A.T., aka Andrew Tate. and they got him canceled. He is not on any social medias whatsoever. They did everything they could to lock him down and lock him out, and he is out of there. So the video that we're going to watch today is going to be about Andrew Tate, but it's not even particularly about Andrew Tate. It is actually about a woman. She is a housewife, and she basically explains, well, what made Andrew Tate who he was, and exactly why he's right. Obviously, I'm going to give you my commentary, but we're going to go ahead and jump off into this video, let this video play out, and you guys can jump to all of your own conclusions as well when it comes to said person. And then, Hi, I'm Steve, the director of I don't know if I should open up. What is going on? I may go ahead and open up the phone lines to let everybody basically give their 2 cents. How come this phone is literally like not doing anything that I'm telling it to do? Okay. Throw that back there. So, we're going to go ahead and jump off into this.
18 to 20, you're stupid.
It's actually it's a good video to watch. So let me shut up and let's go ahead and get in there. And let's see. I'm going to pull up some of my sound effects and get this going. Here we go. Let's go.
What is it like if you can pinpoint what women are like, ugh, I hate you, buddy, Adam, whoever, because you like Andrew Tate? Can you pinpoint what precisely triggers women?
Maybe the age thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe the fact that he just puts them all. I mean, like when you're at like 18 to 20, you're stupid. Like, you don't know nothing.
Yes.
So
that's how they like them.
I know that he's
not true. I can't let you sit there and say that.
I disagree.
Okay, so just immediately off the rip, I'm gonna tell you guys, as men, especially when you're an older man dealing with younger women, we don't actually prefer that. Because we've experienced life, we have a whole totally different mind frame, thought process, knowledge, and you're basically teaching a child when you're dealing with a woman of a certain age. And the younger she is, the worse it is, and you have to deal with, well, you have to deal with some very immature things. It's not fun. And for those that are you in here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button. It's free. Dealing with younger women is not where it's at. I know you guys say, oh, well, you get to train a woman. No. There's no training involved. As a matter of fact, it's like more arguments and fights, and it's over petty stuff. Especially a current, they call them modern day women now. A modern day younger chick has zero life knowledge, and everything that they go off of is based off of music industry, entertainment, and their feelings. Feelings override everything, and it becomes extremely annoying.
I saw a video of him straight up saying you got to find them during those ages so you can groom them, like so you can find. In other words, so you can find their. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Can I just add to that? I think it's really interesting because I really understand. Like, I do understand why men want women at such a young age so that they can mold them. Like, I fully get it because, you want her on your path before she becomes indoctrinated by feminism. And, she's all about the career and doesn't want to, support you and everything like that. I can't remember where I was going with this, actually. Wait, what were you saying?
Feminism.
Okay, but there's some truth to that, but then again, there's no truth to that. And the reason there's no truth to that is feminism is grabbing these girls at a very young age. And 22, 23 years old, especially if they went to college is the largest part of the feminist movement in the United States of America. So they already got her. She's already been indoctrinated. College age, she's already been in school. And in college, I mean, I just watched a show where she was 23 years old and had 56 bodies and was proud of it. Like, she said it like she was proud of it. So by that time, it's almost really a little too late, because I know women that are my age in their 40s and they don't have 56 bodies yet. But let's go.
Doesn't affect everyone though. Like, you can have a mind of your own and do your own thing. Like, you don't have to like go one way or the other. Like, and you can be smart and successful and beautiful. I mean, we've come a long way. Botox and Juvederm. Like, today is 30 and 48 like yesteryears. You know what I'm saying? People live longer now. Like, you don't have to find them in that time period. Like, everything else he says, I swear, is like intelligent. And when it just seems outdated.
Well, what I was going to say was, it's fascinating because I get why men want them young, so they're moldable, right? But when I think of myself, even like 2 or 3 years ago, when I was like 20, 21, 22, I don't even think I would have been a good wife. Like, you couldn't even mold me at that age. Like, I'm very close with my brother, and a lot of my opinions are
definitely not good wives.
Because he molded me, right? But even so, you just couldn't make me a good housewife at 20, 21, or 22 or 23. It wasn't until even 24. It wasn't until I was like 25, I was like, actually, even in the last 6 months, like, I would be a great wife now. But like, I'd be a much better wife today than I would be 6 months ago, right?
Absolute facts. You're always learning and growing.
So it's like, yes, I understand mold her when she's young, but even when I was like 20, I just wouldn't have been a good housewife.
Go ahead.
I think that just comes down to how you're being raised, right? Because if you grow up in a 2-parent, well-rounded, and I'll say religious household, you're going to be absolutely fine being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom 20 to 24. But I think that just shows where women are at. And I don't think you can get away from feminism. Every woman is a feminist to a little bit of a degree. I talk to average women pretty frequently. And I can understand.
Hey, I want to hear that again. And again, she is spitting facts. If you grew up in a 2-parent household, you are going to be a totally different woman than if you grew up in a single-parent household. And then part 2 of what she said is, if you've gone to college, you are very, 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 very familiar with feminism. So again, let's go.
Understand why men want to go younger. I don't think they want a little bit of a degree. I talk to average women pretty from 20 to 24. But I think that just shows where women are at. And I don't think you can get away from feminism. Every woman is a feminist to a little bit of a degree. I talk to average women pretty frequently. And I can understand why men want to go younger. I don't think they want us dumb. I think they want us to be cooperative and not combative. And I've worked with women. Sometimes I coach women, and
biggest thing, cooperative, non-combative. Far too many women want to argue about everything, even when they are so wrong. They want to argue. What are you arguing for? Half the time, you don't even have a point. You just want to be heard, and what you're being heard about makes 0 sense.
I really
just went through that yesterday on Facebook.
Hate is a strong word. I really dislike coaching women that are 30 and older, because it's too hard to break the mental models that they've already formed. And how
she says she hates coaching women. Whew.
old was the woman that you were talking to in Miami, do you think?
Shit.
Late 20s?
It don't matter.
I think she was 29.
Right, late 20s. So that's like an example of really bad girl game and indoctrination. You do something nice for me. I tell you, you like this guy. And basically, in my mind, I think that you're a scumbag. But these same women are going to complain that they're not dateable and that they're single in their 30s. Whereas like, for me, I don't feel bad for you. Like, you had a choice. You could have been a wife sooner. I mean, whatever. But my point is that that's a lot of American women right now. They're just outright disrespectful, ungrateful, unkempt, and I think it's a struggle on both of the sexes right now.
Gotta give them that.
Win.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
We'll get to the super chat in a sec.
What was
guys.
the question again? Say that again.
We were talking about Andrew Tate.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of the biggest things that I notice in so many podcasts. You are literally sitting here speaking directly to women, and they're not even paying attention. Like, they don't pay attention. Like, what does it take to get you to just pay a little bit of attention? We are sitting here having a full-blown conversation, and you're not even tuned in.
and Leia, and I started the conversation with Sarah, basically saying if you could pinpoint what women don't like about Tate. Then we kind of got into the feminism component, and you just looked like you were ready to talk, and maybe I misinterpreted that.
That's okay. Now I'm ready to talk.
If you could pinpoint what
people don't like about him,
exactly what women get triggered about it. She said the
honest.
age and the moldable. By the way, I'm going to weigh in on this moldable young age in a second. So,
I think it's really just like his tone. Like, that's true. Like, can I just be honest? Like, sometimes like the clips that I saw him were very aggressive, very angry, and like women take that as like being like scolded at. You're like, you know, being like yelled at. And I think if he was able to deliver a message in more of a relatable way for women, but I don't think that's what he's like his goal. It's not for women, it's for the men out there.
yes.
So I think just like his tone, I think if you listen to his content as a woman that's not ready to be offended, you can really get you a right man that you want.
That's correct.
Like if you like ladies you guys are not being very smart with this.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's really the tone. Like if he can just adjust his way of speaking so that he's able to not only gravitate towards the men but also get the ladies to understand the perspective, ladies will really, I think, develop and change in a different way. Now, of course, like age and everything, nobody wants to hear they're getting older, and as you get older, you can't have X, Y, and Z, but it's a reality. So it's like...
And this is something that I preach all the time. Reality doesn't care about your feelings. Reality is going to be exactly what it is. It's going to be reality. Reality has no moral compass. Reality isn't going to sit there and baby you and coddle you. Like the world we live in, unfortunately, it is set up where we have no choice but to live in reality. And it sounds so bad, but it's so true. A woman gets to live in La La Land. You guys don't have to deal with everything. And if you're a beautiful woman, you get pretty privilege. Pretty privilege. Want to say what's up to you in the chat. With pretty privilege allows you to never have to be accountable. Whatever you do, so many people, men and women, both let you bypass everything without being held accountable for what you do. In a lot of cases, it's just due to the fact that they just trying to fuck. For the men. For the women, well, most women want to hang around the pretty girl because the pretty girl gets into places and things that other people don't get to do. Pretty women, that is your access to the Drake concert. Pretty women get you in the clubs, all of the clubs for free if you're hanging out with her. So that pretty privilege is a whole nother game that allows you to never have to deal with reality. And reality, for the most part, doesn't hit women. So many times, Kevin Samuels spoke on the wall. Being hit with the wall is the difference maker for so many of you women, and y'all hate to hear about it, but it is truly a fact. When you get to a certain age, only then do you realize that no ifs, ands, or buts about it, your life is about to change, and not for the better, but for the worse. Your attention goes down. Just having a conversation with someone, let her know, like, at the end of the day, what happens is the moment you as a woman have to go to a club and buy your own drinks and no one's hitting on you is when you have hit, you're like at cat lady stages. And it happens to so many older single women because beauty is fading. Even the most beautiful woman in the world loses her attraction. And the older you get, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it really, truly doesn't mean anything. And these are the exact same things that Andrew was saying and getting hate for. And what sucks is it's not that it's not reality. It is 100% true And reality, but a lot of women don't want to face that, which is why they do injections, Juvederm, BBLs. You're doing everything you can to hold on to beauty, right? And then you also want to make and say, oh, I do this for myself. No, you do it to remain attractive to men. And the moment that you actually start being honest about it is when change will actually happen. The fact that people aren't honest, and you want a certain cosmetic look that you had when you were younger that you can't have when you get older. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is you didn't take advantage of your youth to find a good man and get married and get locked in and locked down. That by the time you get to that demographic, that age range, that no going back zone, now it's too late, because your chances of even finding that or having that are slim to none.
Like, you're better off to consider the factors and then move accordingly. So I really just think it's the way his message is being delivered. Now, of course, I don't agree with everything this guy says, but majority of the things, it's pretty valid, factual points. So I really just think it's the way his message is being delivered.
Got it. Number one, he's not changing his tone, nor should he. It got him this far. Do you, player? You're still the top J. All good.
Yes.
So he's not changing.
And I'm going to agree with that 100%. Just like so many people tell me, oh, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah, you're telling the truth, but why do you have to be so honest? What does that mean? Am I supposed to sugarcoat the truth? I can't sugarcoat the truth. So this is the crazy part. If you speak to a man, you're ugly, you're fat, you're broke, you're short, all these different things. But the moment you speak to a woman, it's more of they need to accept you for who you are. Oh, you'll get what you deserve. You know, you got exactly what you need, girl, and it's going to come to you. Blessings, blessings, manifest it. All that BS. Nope, wrong one. Nope. Yep, that's actually what you're going to hear. Crickets. Okay? It's not true. It's not real. It's not honest. It ain't going to be a magic wand that's going to come around and just automatically give you these things in life. It's not real. Like, stop trying to make people change the tone so it sounds good. Like, milk is milk. So some people it tastes amazing, for other people it does not. I'm not a coffee drinker, but there are other people that absolutely love the taste of coffee. I don't love the taste of coffee. It has two totally different feelings, and it's okay. But what you got to stop doing is you got to stop trying to kill and cancel the messenger when you should be listening to the message. I just had this conversation with someone the other day. Women, you guys want good men. It's podcasts like these. I'm sorry, there's so many women right now that I've seen on so many podcasts, shows, TV, everything, that are literally like, Kevin Samuels was right. Sorry, he's gone now. Y'all hated this man when he was alive. He's gone now, and you realize he was telling the truth. Other women, point proven in this, don't want to deal with women, especially 30 and over. At this point in time, it goes back to a video that I just did. You are setting yourself up for consistent trauma, bad relationships. You're adding miles to your body. You're having sex on sex on sex on sex. Okay? You are doing things that are hurting you in life. You can be doing better, but you are not. You are hurting yourself, stopping yourself from growing, stopping yourself from being happy. I understand that society is telling you to go out and live your life and chase the bag and do all that. But I really need you guys to reevaluate something. Your friends that are doing those things, do they truly have a bag? They end up 30 and single. Cool. They look good. Cool. They're at the club. Cool. But they're miserable when they get home. With you, girlfriend, I did this. I traveled here. I did that. Right? I can tell you, like, as a man, when we hear about a woman, single, available, beautiful woman, and you've traveled to all these places, we already know for the most part, you did not finance that yourself. Again, it's been proven. Your average 30-some-year-old woman makes $40,000 to $50,000, but she lives a $200,000 lifestyle if she is beautiful and lives in certain cities. Drake will fly you out from freaking Idaho to Miami. Basically play with you for the night. You get to be on yachts and do all of these different things to send your ass back home. Now you feel like the standard for you is Drake, yachts, expensive clubs, bottles bought for you, tables, VIPs, and all these different things just based off of one experience, when really you were just used for sex. You were just used for sex. That is not your new standard, because your standard should be the man that you can lock in and keep. That is your standard. The standard is the man that you can lock in and keep, not the man that just uses you for recreational use. Recreational use, aka sex. Let's go.
Number 2, let's talk about age. You talked about being moldable, okay?
Yeah.
What's that?
I said he's top G.
Top G.
He's not.
Top
I
G.
kind of agree that
And my Bugatti.
I think women 21 to 24, they got some figuring shit out to do. They need to date the wrong guy. They need to fucking fuck up. They need to go through their whole phase. Like, because the last thing you want to do is get married at
Crazy part. Okay, so I'm going to throw that out there. Women go through their whole phases in divorces. You take any divorced woman, 9 times out of 10, that woman is going to the club and she's getting under as many different dudes as she can in a short period of time because she feels like she hasn't lived life, only to regret it.
22, and like you were molded or whatever. I've seen this happen before. Next thing you know, you're 37 and you're like, I never got to party. I never got to be the girl on a yacht. I never got to bang the Latino guy in the club, whatever. And then like you're gonna have this like, I wish. So there is a component for women to kind of get some of the stuff out of your system. And then let's say whether it's 24, 25, whatever, then you can kind of get settled into it. I'd say the exact same thing to guys, but just wait till you're in your 30s. Like any guy that's like trying to get married at 22, I'm like, bruh.
Don't do it.
What? Okay, so that's the biggest thing is the age factor. By the way, age factor. What's the difference between age gap between you and your husband?
23 years.
23 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm absolutely okay with it. I mean, I'm totally okay with it. If I wanted to be with a millennial man, I could.
23 years. Okay, so. Ooh-wee. He literally, really, he locked and loaded. So I did an interesting research that relationships where the man is older and the woman is younger, those relationships actually last longer and marriages last longer than same age. Reason being is women practice hypergamy. She feels like she can learn something from the older guy. She feels like she can respect the older guy. And then he loves her and gives her everything she wants. But guess what? It goes back to the things that I preach all the time. Safety, security, and provision. An older man offers all 3 of those things without any drawbacks whatsoever, just for the fact that that man himself, 100%, that's what he's known, that's what he's raised by, especially seeing as if he's raised anything from 20, 30 years ago. Okay, so for instance, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s and the 90s. If he grew up in anywhere of the 80s and the 90s, he has a totally different thought process than what current men and women do now. And the younger they are, the harder it's going to be. But it is a known fact, and it's been proven even prior. Your grandmother and grandfather, granddad was usually much older than grandma. Your mom and your dad is much older than mom. It's just a statistical fact. And I was curious about that, so I looked it up, and it's absolutely crazy. It makes a lot of sense.
Could have, I tried it. I did not like it. This is the crisis of masculinity, okay? I mean, a lot of Gen X men, they had to have game. You know, you had to like prove your worth and your value. You had to like, hey, we're gonna go here, meet me at this time, and you had to hone it. And now it's like guys are swiping or they're texting or sending a message. So I really like the masculinity that my husband brings to the table. But I think a lot of women romanticize it and aren't faced with the reality of it, because you do have to make a lot of adjustments. This is not a man that you can control. But it's like, well, that's like what I thought was sexy in the first place. So I better figure out.
Okay, and listen to the things that she's pointing out. A man that you can't control is a man that you will love and admire for the rest of your life. So many women are masculine as hell in the world that we live in today, and they think that that is just where it's at. That is not where it is at. There's not to, I mean, these younger dudes will go for that all day long, but a true man is not going for that. You are not finna run and control his life. That is not about to happen in any form, fashion, or way. You coming to me trying to tell me what I am or what I am not going to do, it will get you kicked out the door faster than anything else. And because a man that is a certain status with a certain thought process, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, we're just not going for it. It's going to be a hard-fought war for you to come in and literally try to tell me how I am supposed to conduct myself when I've been there, done that, do that, every single day, go out in the world, conquer the world, make steps, leaps, and bounds, whether it's my career, life, ambition, and things such as that. And when a woman sees that and she sees that a man has that, she is 1,000,000% more likely to keep that man, fall in love with that man, respect that man, and literally be okay with him leading. And the difference between current men and men, the Andrew Tates, the Mr. Go-Get-'ems of the world, is the fact that if you're a part of my life, great. If you're not, kick rocks. And I'm not going to look back. Period. Not going to look back. Moving forward, 100%. No questions asked. No questions asked. And they be like, you're an asshole. Actually, I'm not an asshole. What I'm not doing is I am not going to sacrifice who I am as a man just for you. Been doing this a long time. With or without you, I'm going to be great. The difference is you're going to be the person that I take care of or you're not. Simple as that. And y'all admire that. You actually look for that. You thrive to have that.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Don't you just hate annoying people on Instagram? It's a great app, but you can't help but just get pissed off at the tomfoolery going.
Oh, it was over.
What is it like if you can pin?
A lot of adjustments. This is not a man that you can control. But it's like, well, that's like what I thought was sexy in the first place. So I better figure out.
Okay. So, there you go. Let me see something. All right. We're going to go with. Should we do this one or this one? Let's go with this one.
Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along...
So just to give you guys a little bit of context, this is Andrew Tate and some of the things that he said. These are the things that supposedly got him canceled. Again, these are things that he said that got him canceled. But the thing of it is, it's all facts.
And pretend they give a about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to... Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men, because I've dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even fucking exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a G, a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would. Yeah. But if a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. No. As a man, if you want to be important.
I mean, if 12 tigers attack me and I manage to defeat 11 in unarmed combat with my Aikido and the last tiger gets my neck, that's a fine way for Tate to die.
You cheated. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch!
Why would you...
Now, see, when they clip things like that, they don't give you full context, and it's way more than that. It was about him actually being attacked by women.
Dick for free.
Because I love doing it. What the fuck? I don't like, what the fuck? I love sucking dick. Why would I?
You have no future with these men, so why not at least get paid for it, right?
I am getting paid for it on fucking OnlyFans. I don't need them to pay me. I make way more than they could ever give me.
They get paid twice. I don't believe...
Okay. I just had this conversation. If you could take... All right, I'm going to give you guys a little fun fact. Okay? There's a reason you guys see the hell out of me on the weekends and during the week you don't. What if I told you 4 days a week I work 20 hours a day? 20 hours a day. Now, the crazy part is, let me go ahead and ask any woman that I know to do that. Y'all ain't going for it. 8, 10 hours max, 12 hours. Single mom, she might work a full-time job and a part-time job. But imagine doing 10 hours. Imagine working from 8 to 5 and then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you do that 4 days in a row. Not going for that. The reason for that is women love money, but they're not willing to work as hard as what men are to get the money. Not even on a part-time job. They could be in debt. They could have all these different things going on. But regardless, they're still going to do the minimum. A stripper, no, she can go to the club tonight and make $5,000. But her goal is $1,200. When she gets to $1,200, she's leaving. She's leaving money on the table. If it were a man, he's going to stay and get that $5,000. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. A lot of women will say you're going to do it. But when you physically get there and have to put in the time and put in the work and not have the benefits of living life, which half the time y'all just sit around and watch TV any fucking way, do nothing, talk on the phone, text nonstop, making no money whatsoever, try to replace that time with getting paid. A man's going to do that every single time. A woman will not. There is a huge difference.
Believe in depression. Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, it's the wind and you go back to sleep. You give the ghosts power by believing in them. Your house is only haunted if you believe in ghosts. Belief is a powerful thing. If I were to stand in front of you and I were to tell you that I could punch you as hard as I can in your sternum, and I could fracture it and send a splinter into your heart, would you allow me to try? You wouldn't, because you know I believe I can. I believe I can hurt any man on the planet, and that's why people are afraid of me. And you believe depression is a crippling disease, and that's why you're afraid of it.
What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with women doing OnlyFans, as long as I had influence and control over it.
What do you mean? Do be the photographer and get the angles, yeah?
No. I'm not doing any real work, but just like taking all the money. Huh? If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
You're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my product. What the fuck?
Your product?
Yes,
The
correct.
woman is not
Next question.
No. I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm totally serious. How would I let my chick do OnlyFans and keep all the money? That's disrespectful.
What woman is ever going to give you that?
Then she better not do OnlyFans. Duh.
Imagine one day you're sitting in Paris and having a fucking coffee, and terrorists roll through with AKs, and the person next to you has their brains blown out. You're gonna stand there and be like, waiting to die like a motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, bang, oh, seen that before. Okay, boom, boom, duck and dive in, take one terrorist out, next get the AK, go Rambo, take out all of fucking Pakistan with a G.
I don't think the world has ever been equal. That the modern society we live in has been built by men. Let's cut the crap. All the roads you see, all the buildings you see, everything around you, men built. All of it. When women come along and say, oh, we're just as important, you are just as important, but you do had a completely different role. You fulfilled a different role in society. And I think now, if you look at the roles of society, I believe men are still doing their job, but I don't know if women are doing their job. Men are still out here building the modern world. But when they come home now, the girl's like, oh, why should I cook for you?
Would you be with me if I'd slept with over 50 men? I'm a high value woman, right?
How can you be high value if 50 men have slept with you?
If I've just been single for a long time.
No, unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
Somewhere on this planet.
So this just gives you a little bit of context of some of the things that Andrew Tate says. Triggering, 100%. Real, based off reality, 1,000,000%. You're canceling the wrong people. You guys are sending the wrong message. You're allowing the wrong people to say and do the wrong things. There are people all over YouTube saying and doing things where they get to say whatever they want to, do whatever they want to, downgrade men, because there's a ton of them, in every single way, and nothing is said to them. He comes along, he speaks honesty, truth, 100% reality-based things in the world that we live in today, and we get to cancel them. This was a good one. It went a little bit different route than what I thought it was going to go to, but I like it when it actually happens like that. I cannot wait till this cough is gone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sunday Night Live. Get rid of that. Hit the like button. Subscribe. And, we're going to continue to do this exact same thing right here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Definitely want to say thanks for tuning in again to No Cap Reacts. This is Sunday Night Live. And we out, ladies.